The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Jay Quellen, join me, and together we will rule the galaxy.
Broadcasting from the Outer Rim territories, this is the Crusty Cantina, starring Daddy Louie, Miss V, Jay Quellen, Mr. Deacon, and Tommy D.
What's going on, nerds? I'm Daddy Louie. This is the Crusty Cantina, and today we are playing Darth Daddy versus the Guardians of the Galaxy Far, Far Away.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Today we have a full cast and crew. On my right, it's Tommy D.
Howdy, nerds.
Miss V.
Hello there.
Mr. Deacon.
What's cracking?
And the lady of the hour, the one that I need to convince to join the dark side, Jay Quellen.
Hello.
Can you show everybody the nice meter that you've created?
That's our dark side, light side
fancy.
meter.
That's
So if you notice, she is already leaning towards the dark side, thanks to my wonderful victory last time. All right, so the premise of this game is I am going to take something beloved in the Star Wars universe. I am going to break it apart. I am going to make you hate it. And I am going to convince Jay Quellen that I'm right while the Guardians fail. In this episode, we're going to talk about what I consider to be the worst character in all of Star Wars cinema. It is, pretty, I would say, pretty common that most people will tell you that the worst character in Star Wars cinema is Jar Jar Binks. I believe that the worst character is Chewbacca.
Can you explain? Okay, I'm not even angry.
Holy shit!
I'm not angry. I'm genuinely curious about this one.
So I have a few points. I will say a little bit, and then I'll pass it over to you. So Jay Quellen, start to take in some of the knowledge. So in A New Hope, it's the first time that we meet Chewbacca. And at this point, he's approximately 200 years old.
Okay.
Right? That's about how old Chewbacca is in The New Hope. But he's always the co-pilot, never the pilot. Mm-hmm. He is always the sidekick, never the hero. He never, in any of the movies, he never does anything heroic, even in Solo, where they had an opportunity to develop him more as a character. They completely didn't. They basically left out any substance that would have made him have his own character arc. And like I said, he's always the co-pilot, even to Rey in the sequels. So even after Han dies and his, his, what do you call that? Like life debt or whatever, that he would have had with Han because Han saved him in Solo. He could have gone off and done whatever he wanted to. And he didn't. He stayed co-pilot to Rey. Mm-hmm. And he's never really spoken to like as an equal. You know what I mean? Like he's never given the opportunity to be a good character. He's just there.
People probably don't
I have
speak
a
Wookiee,
question
though.
for you, Louie, that I want some clarification on about what the point you're arguing is. Are you arguing that Chewbacca was a character who was wasted by the writers of Star Wars, or are you fighting or arguing against the fact that Chewbacca, as he is shown on screen, is not a good character based on...
I'm saying he's the worst character. I'm saying you can't tell me another character in Star Wars cinema that is worse.
I can give you 5 characters that are worse than Chewbacca. Admiral Ozzel, first of all. Captain Nita. I mean, there's so many characters that were worse. Like, the trash compactor monster, the Dianoga, who was force sensitive, was a worse character that was even less developed than Chewbacca.
Any stormtrooper was less developed.
Okay, let me clarify a little bit.
Please do.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
Main character. You would consider Chewbacca to be a main character, yes?
He's a supporting character. He's not a main character.
Here's my confusion. So my confusion is, if we are arguing that as a main character, he was not, by the writers, fully developed as a fully 3D character, that's one argument. The other argument is Chewbacca and his contributions to the actual overall plot of the movie makes him a bad character because he doesn't do anything or he harms the story. Which are we arguing?
The second.
Okay.
Which is completely false because he does so much and he enables the heroes to do what they need to do. Mm-hmm. And since we're talking about the movies,
he was there when Yoda said, "Miss you, Darbo. Miss you, Chewbacca."
Yeah.
He helped get Yoda off.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He helped get Yoda off.
In Solo, which is unfortunately Solo.
Yoda came in Yoda, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Yoda had to dip. There was hundreds of Wookiees in the water, troopers all over the place. And then he said, "Yo, miss you, I will." And then he had to dip after Order 66.
I have.
He was one of the generals. They said, Chewbacca been balling out, fighting for a long time.
I have the argument. I have the argument that will here's the thing. Chewbacca was unfortunately in a movie called Solo. I personally don't like that movie, which is why I say that. However, we're going to go through a train of thought. Jake Quellen, this is for you. Follow me. Mm-hmm. So I've only seen Solo once. I have not seen it since because I didn't like it. But from my remembrance, Chewbacca, he is basically captured on this planet. He is used to kill prisoners. One of the prisoners dropped in his pit is young Han Solo. Yep. Han Solo, who has spent time around Wookiees, knows how to speak the language. Yep. He and Chewbacca form a friendship, and he helps Chewbacca escape slavery. That is why Chewbacca has the life debt to Han Solo. Right. So that is why. So it is because of that they are together. Now, we skip ahead through their many adventures to episode 4. We have the fact that Han Solo is the reason why they're able to get off of Tatooine. And Han Solo would not be alive if Chewbacca hadn't decided to save his life. What else does Han Solo do in that movie? He shows up at the fucking Death Star, takes out TIE fighters. Why? So that Luke can fly his X-Wing through the trenches and take out the fucking Death Star. If Han Solo was not there, he couldn't do that. And why is Han Solo there? Because Chewbacca decided to save his life because they found a kinship in the pit that they were both trapped in. Without Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker would not have taken out the Death Star. And if Luke Skywalker had not taken out the Death Star, he would not have become a Jedi. And anything after episode 4 would not have happened.
And let's look at Empire Strikes Back. When Chewbacca was about to go ham and wipe everybody out, Han said, "You have to take care of the princess." He immediately stopped. He's got C-3PO on his back. Mm-hmm. And of course, C-3PO plays a huge part throughout the saga itself. Mm-hmm. And so he's not only caring for... That's not even
sarcasm. He really does.
He really does. So he's not only caring for C-3PO on his back in pieces, he stops and Leia cuddles up to him, and now you want to talk about who flew the Falcon when they were taken off when they had to leave? Chewbacca. And
we don't see that. Actually, no, that's not true.
So it
was Lando.
She was there. It
was Lando
with Chewbacca. Right.
It was Lando.
But also, there's always two people flying the fucking Falcon.
It was Lando.
It's always Chewbacca.
Okay, you've got the captain of the ship and you've got the co-pilot, sure, but the captain can't operate without the co-pilot.
You're done. I'm cutting you off.
So, and then
I'm the host.
But
you're done.
And then
hold on. Louis,
I'm not done yet.
You're done.
I'm not done because if we're talking about movies, we also have to consider the holiday special, which was a movie
about Chewbacca. We couldn't have a holiday special without Chewbacca.
And he's fully developed.
That canon.
Endor, when he busted up that walker, they wouldn't have even gotten the goddamn to shut the goddamn shield generator down.
That's exactly right.
What do you have, Louis? What's your point?
Louis.
All right.
This is trash.
As a character, he's terrible. In the prequels,
I can't do it this
okay, Jar Jar is made a general and a diplomat.
Mm-hmm. And how
Chewie doesn't even get a medal for everything that he did to quote unquote blow up the Death Star. Mm-hmm. Yoda helps liberate Kashyyyk. It's not the other way around. So you guys are like, oh, Chewbacca helped Yoda get off the planet. If it wasn't for Yoda, the Kashyyyk would be under separatist control. So it was Yoda and the clone army that helped liberate Kashyyyk from the separatist control. And I'm not done. And then Chewbacca gets enslaved just a couple years later from Kashyyyk. So dude, your planet was handed back to you by Yoda, and then you got yourself enslaved again.
I gotta say that is
so. Then hold on, I'm not done.
That is absolutely factually incorrect. Is in the middle of the fight on Kashyyyk between, at the time, what is the Separatists and the Republic. It is in the middle of that battle that Order 66 happens. At that point, Yoda now has every single enemy on that planet except the Wookiees. The Separatist army has not been shut down at that point because Anakin has not made it to Mustafar to take out the Separatist leaders. So the Separatist army is still attacking the Republic as well as Yoda. The clone troopers have now turned and are against Yoda. Yoda's only friends on that planet are the Wookiees. They stop fighting and they literally take him to a secret escape pod
Tarful and
to
Chewbacca.
get him off of that planet, because the only way that he would have had off of that planet without the Wookiees would have been something that was Republic / now Empire controlled.
Right.
He was trapped on Kashyyyk because of the fact that at that point the Republic has now turned against him. The Wookiees get him off that planet, allow him to survive to do
train
what?
Luke.
To train Luke fucking Skywalker to what we think is kill the Empire until the fucking sequels. But
and Jackie, think about this. Who saves Grogu? Luke. Who comes for Grogu? Had Yoda, had Chewbacca.
Why do you think that's my
the slider?
Yeah, why hasn't this fucking
have we adjusted?
It did, but it wasn't on camera. You didn't ask what I was thinking after round one,
round one isn't even over.
From our producer, who has chimed in via Facebook Messenger. Around the same time, in an interview recorded just a few weeks, I have not read this yet. After a few weeks after the first Star Wars movie hit theaters, Lucas explained, quote, Chewbacca wasn't given a medal because medals don't really mean much to Wookiees. The Wookiee Chewbacca was in fact given a great prize and honor during a ceremony with his own people.
And if you're talking about Jar Jar Louie, Jar Jar handed the galaxy to Palpatine. Literally handed it to Palpatine.
Well, Jar Jar is a Sith. So.
He didn't know any better.
Jar Jar was a pawn. Let me be very clear.
Chewbacca was never a pawn.
Chewbacca has never been manipulated by the light or dark side. He is operating under his own code and his own ethics, which is why he is actually probably more in line with what the Jedi should be, because his code of ethics was just about being good.
Yeah.
He was
for the sake of being good.
He was never evil. He was a starved animal in a pit who had to kill to survive.
Yeah.
And the second that he was able to escape, there was never a moment where Han Solo was like, is Chewbacca going to kill me? He's a furry dog.
So you want to talk about character development? That's character development right there.
Chewbacca was never a villain.
And they're
he was giant.
He could have done whatever.
He was a survivor. Chewbacca was always a good person. He did unfortunate things in that pit to survive. And the second that he was able to be free and didn't have to do that, he never looked back. His life debt ended to Han Solo when he was murdered by his son. And he stuck with his fucking friends.
Yeah.
He may not have played a huge role in the sequels, but he was there for Leia, for Rey, for every single character as a constant.
Doing what?
Knew the pain of being in war.
Just standing there.
Yeah, because that's all he does.
But here's the thing.
That's all he does. Is he just stands around the entire time.
That's all he does. He just stands around.
Jackie, what do you think? We've talked a lot.
Yeah.
Is it light side or dark side?
Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm leaning very heavily toward the light side.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got robbed because I didn't even get to. I was hosting the show, and I didn't even get to read 95% of my notes. But that's okay.
Well,
I'll let them have it this time.
Keep going. They're just asking where I am right now.
Is there a clincher point hidden in the 95% of notes you haven't read that you think could take Jackie from all the way on the blue to all the way on the red?
Okay. So he joins Han in a high stakes heist for Crimson Dawn, which goes horribly wrong, killing 2 of the crew members on that heist. Does he leave? Nope. He stays with Han.
Yeah.
Then Han goes on to lose favor with Jabba the Hutt, one of the, if not the most dangerous gangsters in the entire galaxy. And they get hunted for years by bounty hunter after bounty hunter.
And he stays by
near
Han's
death
side.
all the time.
Loyal.
Does he leave? Nope. He stays
with Han.
Yeah. Even though Han treats him like crap the whole time. Every time we see him, he's either yelling at him or, telling him to be quiet.
Every time Chewbacca speaks to Han Solo, it's
Hey, I'm just going off of what I know. The way that Han talks to Chewie is not very nice.
So your argument is that Chewbacca is incredibly loyal to a friend.
So
to a fault.
So that's
to the point where he doesn't get any character development of his own.
That is
he's literally Han's pet.
But Daddy, he had a life debt, as they said, and he was loyal to someone who saved his life. Mm-hmm. I know that's redundant, but like, yeah, he treated him like crap, but also he did like a huge thing for him, and eventually they grew closer and got.
Well, they were incredibly close. And Hans is kind of a jerk and has anger management issues. He was never like cruel to Chewbacca. He was never mean to Chewbacca.
Most heart-wrenching lines.
I don't see it as that big of a weakness.
Series is Chewbacca when Han dies and Chewbacca when Leia dies.
Also, well, you know what was even more heart-wrenching than that?
You thought he got blown up?
No, well, that was no. In Empire Strikes Back, when they closed the shield doors and Han and Luke were out there, the sound that he makes, that was his heart breaking because his person and this new family member were out there. That alone was character development. Look, I
fully believe, and I have no proof of this, it's just in my heart and soul. I truly believe we know this has probably happened, Chewbacca has had to save Han Solo's ass a million times.
Of course.
That life debt was repaid over and over again. Chewbacca was there because he loved Han Solo. Mm-hmm. And the moments that we see him yelling and being mean, as Louis says, they're in stressful situations. It's like, Chewie, we need to get these engines running.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here. You're taking everything apart.
I don't have time to say, Chewie, can you please start the hyperdrive? No, it's like, bitch, hyperdrive.
And that's not Han Solo.
Yeah, it's a high pressure situation.
Exactly.
And I feel like Chewbacca could have easily overpowered Han if he wanted to, because he's giant.
But he understands Han Solo.
That was his dog. They had a kinship. They was friends.
Yeah.
Han was his dog. I know.
That was his dog.
Yeah.
But DAWGS.
You know.
Yeah.
Like
no, I saw a meme. I saw a meme though that because of the Wookiee lifespan, Han was like his like fifth dog or whatever.
Yeah. If anything, Louis, you said
hairless Chihuahua.
Yeah, Louis said that Chewbacca was Han's pet. It's the other way around. It's the other way around, 100%.
Like from Chewbacca's perspective, he has his really nice car, his RV that he lives in. He travels the galaxy with his naked pet.
Yeah.
And then one day, when out traveling a planet, his dog came back with more puppies. Mm-hmm. He's like, I guess we have room. And the rest of like Chewbacca's time is adopting various pets that are in distress throughout the galaxy. He is the ultimate cat mom. I will say no more.
Chewbacca is the cat mom. Okay.
Chewbacca is the cat mom of the
officially. Yeah, I think officially.
All right, I give up. I throw in the towel. You guys got me.
Some shit.
So, what is your final stance?
I mean, I'm on the light side this time. There's nothing wrong with being a supporting character. You're a supportive, loyal, empathetic friend, and I think that that's great. And I love maybe Chewie's my favorite character now.
Ooh. Damn, Louis,
I mean, Daddy Louis has good points sometimes, but this time I'm with my Guardians.
There we go. All right, Darth Daddy, thank you. Circle of Nerds, thank you. It's time to wrap it up. So don't forget, check us out. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Is Chewbacca the worst character ever in Star Wars Cinematic Universe? Or is somebody else? Who do you think it is? Thank you for joining us. I got nothing. If nobody does anything nice for you, do something nice to yourself. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, poke that Circle of Nerds icon to subscribe and ring that bell icon to get notifications whenever we post a new video. If you'd like to experience the full length and girth of our shows, full length and girth. Do I have to say that? Ugh, that's cringy. Head on over to patreon.com/Circle of Nerds for exclusive content, full episodes, and more. Thanks for watching and stay crusty.